In the last video, I introduced you to the artist Paul Klee, and we are focusing on his painting Castle and Sun. Today you're going to make your own using the collage method. Today, all you're going to need is glue, scissors, maybe a pencil, and some colored paper. If you don't have colored paper, you can always make your own by using markers, crayons, colored pencils, anything you can color with. Here are some student examples of a collage of Castle and Sun, which you will be making.
So let's talk about how to cut out some shapes. So the first thing we're going to talk about is how to cut out a square. And you can actually cut out a square using the corner of your sheet of paper and cut one side here. I like to turn the paper instead of try and turn my hand. I turn the paper and I'm going to cut one right here. A square is a shape that is the same on all four sides. You can also cut out more than one shape at the same time by taking paper, stacking it on top of each other, however many your scissors can cut through. I'm doing about 3 sheets of paper right now, and I'm cutting off another corner for another square. How many squares do you think is going to make? 3. Another trick to make more than one at the same time is you can fold your paper in half, corner to corner, crease, fold it again in half, increase, and you can cut from there with the paper still folded and get more than one shape at the same time. Now I'm going to show you how to cut out a triangle. I like to put one dot up here in the middle and then another dot in the corners, and I'm going to cut all the way from this corner with a diagonal line to make a triangle. How many triangles did it make? 3. One other way to make a triangle is you can fold the corners diagonally, and if it's not a perfect square, that's okay. You can always take this and trim the edge, and you can use these scraps later on for details. If you would like, you can cut along the crease line and make another triangle. You can also cut smaller squares from a bigger square. I'm going to stack these on top of each other so I can make more at the same time to help save some time. A rectangle is different from a square because it's not the same on all 4 sides. It's got 2 long sides and 2 short sides. Do you remember the arched windows that I was talking about earlier? If you take a rectangle and cut a curved line, you can get an arch, and this might be a door or it could be for windows. Okay, once you're ready and you have your shapes cut out, you're going to start to lay them down where you want to put them. Don't glue them yet, just set them kind of where you want to put them, maybe alternate the colors, maybe use different shapes that are higher or taller, maybe some that are skinnier. And see, and it's okay if you spread them out, they don't all have to be touching. And you're just going to stack them.
Once you have your squares and rectangles laid out, you can then start to glue. Remember, if you're using bottle glue, a dot is a lot. You can also use a glue stick and it'll be a little less messy. Notice how I'm adding details such as windows, triangles, and battlements, which I'm going to talk about in a second how to make.
Do you remember the battlements that I mentioned earlier on the tops of the castle walls? Well, you can take a rectangle and you can either cut small little squares out and just make sure they're spaced out, and if you want to draw them first, you can do that too, but this is completely optional. You don't have to do this step, but if you would like to, you can add these to the tops of your castle walls. The only thing we're missing is the sun. I like to cut a circle by turning the paper as I keep the scissors facing forward. And I always like to make it bigger than it needs to be, just in case, because you can always trim it down. So it's a little big, so I'm going to take it, I'm going to go around one more time, make it a little smaller for my sun. And voila! Make sure to clean up all your scraps. You can always save them for a later day to make another collage, or you can take the trash can, and what I like to do is just scoop them right on in, just like that.